Welcome everyone to Daytona International Speedway, and it is time for Daytona 500 Pole Day here at Daytona International Speedway. I'm in NR2003, and it is gonna be a crazy one to say the least. And this is gonna be different from seasons past. At least I think I don't remember. But it's gonna be two rounds, round one and round two. Round number one, we have two groups. Each group will have 22 cars in it, so split in half. Split the field in half of 44, 22 in each group. And then the top 5 fastest will move on to round number 2. And I will determine the front row for the Daytona 500. And if they're on the front row, we'll guaranteed start there. Not if we crash in the duels tomorrow night or not. So that is very, very important. And each of these groups for round 1 will be 15 minutes long, and then round 2 will be 10 minutes long. So here we go. Probably gonna take some time to talk about these drivers as well. And the first one is Eric Monaco in the number 3. He's one of those guys that he's done a lot of truck series stuff. There's a lot of people that have done that are coming up from the old Power Truck series to Cup this season. Eric Monaco for Austria. Both cars are rookies this season, so that's gonna be really interesting how they do. Trey Smith in the number 51, be in the clash last night. Didn't go so well, but wants to get a better one here today in Group 1 of qualifying. Same can be said about Elijah Gordon in the number 2. Here's the number 10 of Colin Quapley. Sulas. Every season it feels like they have a boatload of rookies, and this season is no different. 3 out of the 4 cars are rookies for Sulas. The only one that is not a rookie is Zachary Fitzwater. So it's gonna be interesting of what Colin Quapley can do in that number 10. Another one of the many rookies is a guy that's making his first career start on the channel, along with Colin Quapley, I'm pretty sure, is Tyreek Hartman, teammate to Quentin Moore in the number 34. Hartman in this number 38. I have to see what he does here this season full time. Joke is Racing, they have a pair of rookies. One of them is Brandon Nelson, very known driver in other stuff, but made his debut to the JBL Cup Series here this season in the number 18. And could see some good things, because Joke is Racing, the two cars that normally do really good are the 18 and the 19. So gonna be interesting of what Brandon Nelson can do. Jordan Edwards, brand new driver to the channel, driving this number 12 for Team Penske, player as Billy as Phoenix teammates and Mitchell Collins. He does have some veterans in Mitchell Collins and Elijah Gordon. Right behind him is another rookie. We got a lot of rookies here, folks, this season. We got Roger James, second color car, teammate to Travis Crampton. Let's see what he does this season in the number 31. John Andrews back in the series, number 43, competed in the clash last night. One of the part-time cars, one of the cars trying to race their way into the Daytona 500 this week. It is Clark Bajano III. I am sorry if I'm going to butcher the name. That is one of those names that I'm going to struggle all season long. But he's competing in one of the 2 MBM cars, and right now he's currently fastest early on in group number 1 in qualifying. Another one trying to make it into the show. Another part-time is Dalian Ton in this number 62 for Beard Oil Motorsports. The number 17 of Logan Williams finally getting a full-time opportunity. He's done part-time starts in Cup, former Coca-Cola 600 winner for Tommy Ball Racing, I believe. Either in season 2 or season 3. So he would love to have that same performance as he did part-time. He was very strong when he was part-time in that second one. So new RFK Racing, new name now is RFK. Let's see what he can do in his first full-time ride after being part-time in Trust and Cup for so long. So this is a pretty big pack, 7 of them in total. He's the number 47 of Dale Camel in the Cup Series. Once again, he took a big hit last night in the highway crash, almost tipped over a little bit, but he was fine. And now they brought out the Sunny D colors here for qualifying. The other RFK color is the number 6 of Scott Upton. So both of the Roush Fenway colors are rookies, a lot like RCR, but Scott Upton, I don't think he's done much on the channel. So have to see what he does in that number 6. The third RCR color, I mentioned about how they have 2 rookies already. Well, they got the number 33 of not really a rookie, and someone that has raced on the channel before, Landon Smith Jr. And then 33, he has to make it through the doors to make it into the Daytona 500. Another one that is like that is the number 50, the Monday team of BB Ruiz. I'm sorry, that's gonna be another name I butchered. The Monday team is in the JBL Cup Series. Next up, we got the 21 of Jordan Stout, another newcomer to the channel, and the number 21 for Whippers this season. The 27, they got 2 colors for the Team Heinsberg. They got the 27 of Torrance Green, trying to make it into the Daytona 500. And Mullen Miles, pretty well established driver to the channel. He's in this number 11 for Joe Gibbs Racing this season. And last season and for a couple of seasons, it was driven by Jake Galloway. So this team, another one that could be strong throughout the season. There's, let's see, anyone else? Not many other drivers. Oh, well, here's one of the cars. The 19 of Lingerie has been driving this car for the last 2 seasons. The season 1 champion in Lingerie drove this number 19 for JGL the last 2 seasons. It was very strong. I used to call him the king of the Cup Series, and I used to call this the Lingerie Cup Series with how good he was. He's no longer around, and now now this team has a new driver, and Aaron Abel, new driver to the channel, and it's gonna be interesting what he can do. He has a lot of pressure, especially with the fact that Lingerie, pretty sure this team was in the Final Four last season in Season 3. So this team is always fast. It's been fast the last 2 seasons. New driver, can they go back to that level of success? We have to wait and see. The 78 of Richard Kinghut, new driver to the channel. I'm pretty sure maybe done any color in the past. I'm not entirely sure, but new driver to the Cup Series. Another one of the 17 rookies. And of course, we can't forget the Season 3 champion, Allison Wayne, for Spire Motorsports this season, and the number 7. She's going to be a contender, I think, all season long. Trying to go back to back in the Cup Series. That has not happened yet in the first 3 seasons. Now I think that might do it for all of the drivers in group number 1. Yeah, and it is. So far, this is the biggest pack on track. And the 55 of Clark Pagano III is fastest. And then the money team of BB Ruiz. The 2 names I can't say that y'all are probably going to laugh at me for that. They are fastest in Group 1 as of now, top 2. And then 3rd is Aunt Monaco. 4th is Logan Williams. And 5th as of now to make it into round number 2 of qualifying will be Jordan Edwards. So it looks like 3 out of the 5? 4 out of the 5. Yeah, 4 out of the 5 fastest are in this pack. And it's just going to keep on going because now they're catching up to the 51 of Trey Smith and the 2. Never mind. Now they're just going to catch up with the 2 of Elijah Gordon as the 51 just dipped. And that pack's going to lose to 18. And now Jordan Edwards went from 4th, I believe, to 3rd. So that's going to help him a little bit. 6th is the number 6 of Scott Upton. The 7th is Dale Campbell. 8th is Roger James. 9th is the 62 of Daytona, and rounding out the top 10 is the 18 of Brandon Nelson. So that's the top 10, but right now it's only the top 5 of the 55, the 50, the 12, 17, and the 3 that would make it into round 2 of Daytona 500 Pole Day qualifying. And I thought that was going to help the pack, but honestly, for the time being, that's not going to help this pack at all. We do got this 5-car pack. Was 6, but the 33 dropped back right line. Say something. And the 78 did jump up a spot. 78 of which should Kinghut from 7th to 6th. So maybe this 5-car pack, if they go single file, they might not have as many cars as the lead pack, but yeah, they still don't. But if they can get enough cars to go single file, or heck, maybe even to stay double file. Well, why when I said that Dale Campbell makes it blue wide, but I don't know. Right now the 50 is second fastest. And the 38 is now in the top 5 of Tariq Hartman. So now it's the 55, the 50, the 12, the 17, and the 38. The 3 really got beat recently because he was in 5th and now he's in 9th. And still got 3 minutes left in group number 1 of round 1 for Pole Day. And I know, they're running out of time. I think the 55 and 50, unless someone does a web out of the hat and they go faster than the 40.354, I think those two are going to be safe. But drivers like Jordan Edwards, Logan Williams, Tyree Hartman, I don't think they are safe. Because either this pack or this pack could go faster somehow, and they could sneak up there into the top 5. But right now, these are the 2 biggest packs on the track. Everyone else is just basically doing single file ones. Might have to watch out for this 18 because he might have to draft for the 33. Never mind, that didn't really work out for him. He didn't even go fastest, still 17th for Brandon Nelson. Fortunately, the slowest guy out here is Trey Smith in the number 51. And the way it works is that, basically, from 11th through 44th will be set by the qualifying times. So, the faster you go, the better you will start in the duels as well. As they're almost gonna go for wide in this pack. And they're wrecking in this pack. Well, around goes the 38, the 31, and the 2 of Elijah Gordon. They're gonna be fine. And it is still the top 5. Fastest are still the 55, the 50, the 12, the 17, and the 38. And these guys are running out of time. They might get a couple more minutes in to do a couple more laps, but I think it's something pretty good for Pagano, the 3rd, BB Ruiz, Jordan Edwards, Logan Williams, and Tyreek Hartman. Looking pretty good for those 5 drivers. And yeah, that pack kind of disintegrated once that crash happened. And now this is the biggest pack really. Might have to watch out for Scott Upton here. because he did fall back a little bit, and he's gained a massive draft up to this pack. And they are going to give him a little bit more time to finish up their current laps, so might have to watch out for Upton here if he goes any faster. Currently, he's in 16th, so see if Scotton can go any faster. Yeah, he does. I figured he might have been a shot at it, and he is up to second, 16th to second with Scotton, and that bumps out Tyreek Hartman out of the top 5. Can get 30 more seconds here. Anyone else that might get a decent one at it? I don't know. I don't think so. I think that might do it. So both RFK colors, from the looks of it, are going to be in round 2 of Daytona 500 qualifying. Very impressive from that team. And that's going to do it. So there we have it. Round 1 of qualifying, group 1 of qualifying is complete. And the 5 cars that are going into round number 2 are going to be Clark Bajano III. One of the cars has to race his way into the 500. If he starts on the front row, he will be safe. So that would be one last spot for anyone in the duels. Scott Upton late in that session snuck up there to second, barely being out the 50 of BB Ruiz in the number 50. Jordan Edwards, great one for him, making it into round 2. And the Logan Williams joining his teammate in 5th. So we got all those are forwards. 55, 6, 12, and 17 are all forwards. The only one that is not a forward is the number 50 of the money team. And that is a Chevy. So forwards are looking pretty strong here at Daytona. We have to see that continues into round number 2 and in group number 2. And unfortunately for some of these guys at the bottom, like Trey Smith, Torrance Green, Jordan Stout, Owen Miles, Lance Smith Jr., Brandon Nelson, Elijah Gordon, Alice Marine, Dale Campbell, they are not going to get good starting positions in the duel, depending on what happens in group number 2. But top 5, 55, 6, 50, 12, and 17 all make it into round number 2, and let's see if who makes it in. Let's see who makes it into round 2 from group number 2. And we will be right back for group number 2 of round 1 at Daytona. Welcome back to Daytona, and it's now time for group 2 of round number 1 here for Daytona 500 Pole Day. And we saw the 5 drivers that made it out of round 1. Clark Bajano III, BB Ruiz, Scott Upton, Jordan Edwards, and the 17 of Logan Williams. 4 out of those 5 forwards. The forwards be fast here. In group number 2, we have to wait and see. First driver out for group number 2 is the number 77 of Memphis Fisher, brand new driver to the team. Teammates to, I don't know, the season 3 champion Allison Lane. I think that's a pretty good teammate to have, and gonna see of what Memphis Fisher can do this season in the number 77 second car for Spire. And this season, this was the only car that they had, I'm pretty sure. So Spire did increase the equipment from last season. Second car out is Stephen Cologne. He raced in the Clash last night. And now he's back at it. This time for qualifying here at Daytona. In the number 42 for Page GMS Motorsports. Here comes Mitchell Collins, last season's Rookie of the Year champion. Back in this number 22. Well, he was in the 2. Now he's in the 22. So, Collins in the 22 now. See what he can do this season. The 41, I mentioned in group number 1 that there's a lot of rookies for Steel Haas, and this continues it. And the number 41 is Ryan Durrani. Pretty well known driver in the NR community, I feel like. And don't really know he's done that much on my channel, but good to have him here, and good to have him be on a full car team of Josh along with 2 other rookies and Zachary Fitzpatrick. No, Clifton last night, he kind of did a ballsy move, I guess you can say, in the clash. Side drafted Trey Smith too much and crashed the field in the tri-oval. And hopefully that's not a sign of what's come for this Voice 5 team in 23-11. And have to wait and see. From one Aussie to another, Zachary Fitzpatrick only betting on 2 horse racing, see what he can do in the return of the Cup Series for him. The 23 of Josh Williamson. Last season he was in the number 41 for Stillhouse. Now he is on the brand new team for 23-11 Racing. And he's driving the 23 for 23-11 Racing. Josh Williamson had some ups and had some downs last season, but most of them were down, unfortunately. Hopefully he can change that with a brand new team of 23-11 Racing. Nathan Stapleton in number 24. He's back. Oh my god, that was close. He's back in the Cup Series second season from the number 24 now. Here for Hendon Motorsports. And last night in the clash, I said that they could be very stacked and very dangerous on paper. Well, this is one of them. They got Nathan Stapleton, they got Benny Watson, they got Eli Bright, and they got Justin Seidel as well. On the 15, that is a brand new driver, Chris Reynolds. See what he does in this liquid racing car. And of course, Angel Baylor got 6th last night in a wild powered crash. I just mentioned him. Justin Seidel, the only rookie for Hendrick Motorsports in the JBL Cup Series, but not a rookie to NR. It's Justin Seidel. It's gonna be interesting what this car and this driver can do, being the only rookie at Hendrick Motorsports this season. And then speaking of Suarez with rookies, in Group 1 we saw 10, in Group 2 we saw the 14 and the 41, and now we're in the field in the number 4. I mentioned earlier how there's a lot of Power Truck City drivers that moves their way up, and this is one of them. Bringing the field in the number 4 for Suarez. He wasn't to us for multiple seasons, and now finally in the Cup Series as a rookie, see what he can do. And if Stillhouse can finally get some momentum here in the Cup Series, Eli Bright, one of 3 drivers that have done all 4 seasons in the JBL Cup Series. He's back. Last year he was in the 88, and now he's in the 48 for Hendrick Motorsports. Had a rough night last night in the clash. Want something a little bit easier here today. Joe Witkowski right behind him. Well, that's not surprising whatsoever. Joe Witkowski running right behind Eli Bright, and I mentioned in Group 1 of how Austria is full of rookies. Well, both cars are rookies of Ant Margot and now Joe Witkowski. But Joe Witkowski, a lot like Justin Seidel, not a stranger to in 2003. Travis Griffin in the number 16, 4th team that he's driven for in all 4 seasons. He's bounced around from, let's see here, JTG Dooley in Season 1, Team Penske in Season 2 last season, in a 3rd former motorsports car in the 36, and now he's driving the brand new team of Colleague Racing in the number 16. So, still searching for a team that he could have success with, and maybe that can change this season. Juan Garcia, former Truck Series champion, long-time driver of the Power Range Truck Series. He did do 1 season in the Cup Series before, back in the Cup Series again, and last time he did win in a chaotic powered clash. So Team Trackhouse all the way on the right foot here in Speed Weeks. Ben Watson, one of those guys that has done 3 or 4 Cup Series seasons, and when I talk to him, he goes down to pit road. Ben Watson, another veteran guy at Hendrick Motorsports. Quinton Moore last season's All-Star Race winner, back in the number 34 this season. See what he can do. And the 26, I mentioned the 27 of Torrance Green in Group 1. And here's Will Parrish. I really cannot speak. he's on the second car for Team Pittsburgh and see what they can do. Maybe they can get both the cars into the 500 here this week. And speaking of cars trying to make it into the 500, he is Project 91. The number 91 car for Trackhouse Racing. The third car this season, and this season is driven by newcomer to the channel, Eric Drew. See what he can do in his number 91. Wine Ryan in the 41. White Walker, he returns in the Cup Series, and I could be wrong, I probably am. I think if memory serves me correctly, he was all the way back in season 1, and he drove the 19th for Joe Gibbs Racing. I think. Could be wrong about that. But if that is the case, then he's back to Joe Gibbs Racing, back in the Cup Series in Season 2, but this time in the number 20 for Joe Gibbs Racing, see what he can do. Joe Gibbs Racing, they've been a powerhouse the last couple seasons, but the 20 has had some rough races so far. See if that can change. The 66 MBM of Troy Gossett, not out yet, but another one of those drivers trying to race their way into the 500. I think I've talked to everyone for the most part here in group number 2. And it looks like I have, besides the 6 on roads. So far, fastest 5 in town in group number 2 is the 15 of Chris Reynolds, the 42 of Stephen Cologne, the 4 of Brandon Beal, the 41 of Ryan Dwyer, and the 22 of Mitchell Collins. So, no, oh my god, never mind. Things really changed rapidly, because now the 22 is up top. Stephen Colone's up to 3rd, Wyatt Walker's up to 2nd. So now it's Mitchell Collins, Wyatt Walker, Stephen Cologne, the 15 of Chris Reynolds, and Brandon Beal in the 4. This 5-car pack is absolutely Newman right now, and they have 3 cars in this 5-car pack currently in to round 2. Bliss doing pace in this 5-car pack. Will they go faster? Does not look like it. So it's still the 22, 24, 2, 15, and 4 currently locked in to group number 2. Or into round number 2. 66 finally going out on track. Or finally going back out on track. And now the 77 might get a really fast lap because he's right behind these guys and he has the draft. So Memphis Fisher, he could jump into this top 5. That might have slowed him down a little bit. I don't know if it did. Let's see. Memphis Fisher. And oh my god, yeah, that got him in. He goes straight to the top. I think that's the best time all day. 40.256 for finals was in number 77. Memphis Fisher. Fastest now, the 23 bumps Beal from 6th to 7th, and now 15 of Chris Reynolds is on the bubble. And that's not good for Brandon Beal, but Josh Williamson, he went kind of fast, but not fast enough. Only up to 6th place for him. So now it's Memphis Fisher, Mitchell Collins, Wyatt Walker, Stephen Cologne, and Chris Reynolds that are currently locked in to round number 2 of Pro Day qualifying. Jeez, that is a wicked fast time. I don't think anyone's gonna beat that for the rest of this session or in group 1 for round. I don't think anyone's gonna beat that in round 2 of qualifying either. So I think that's gonna be the fast time here that we see all day. And Trackhouse, the number 1 of Angel Obey, I can't believe I just now noticed this. He jumped up to the top. Well, not to the top, but he jumped into the top 5. Bumped out Chris Reynolds, and now he is 5th on speed. And never mind now, Ovella gets bumped out, and now Josh Williamson in the number 23 for 23-11 Racing he jumps into the top 5 in third. Gives him a little bit of breathing room. It is very, very tight. Oh, now, Stephen Clone is now 5th. And White Walker, who I thought was going to be comfortable making it in, he's now in 4th. And he just went up. Oh my goodness. This Pat right here just got fast in a heartbeat. The 20 of White Walker is up to 2nd. Mitchell Collins is up to 3rd. Will Parrish is up to 4th now. And this pack is growing. And they have now 4 out of the top 5 guys here in town are in this 8-card pack. 8-card pack. Josh Williamson is currently locked in with a 40.715. But if this pack goes faster and if they keep on going through the final, they might get in as well. Can he get there? Maybe. No, he doesn't. He does not go faster. Moore currently in 20th, so he's not gone that fast all session long, unfortunately. And it's still, so right now with 2 minutes left, it's the 77, the 20, the 22, the 26, and the 23. 3 Toyotas in the top 5 this time, and only 1 Ford and 1 Chevy. And this pack might get Benny Watson out here. Benny Watson, I think, purposely got out here to maybe join this lead pack, knowing that this is the fastest pack all session long. Very close bubble battle, and they lost the 42, and the 22, and the 41. Oh my goodness. The 77 still up top. The 42 of Stephen Cologne, he got the draft, I think, off the 9 or something like that. Now Stephen Cologne's up to 2nd with a 40.390. Mitchell Collins is up to 3rd with a 40.425. Ryan Dwayne's back up inside the top 5 with a 40.460. And the 30 of Quentin Moore, he was drafted off the 9. Now he is on the bubble with a 40.499. Now Ryan Rock, who I thought was going to be good, he is outside of it. Ryan Dwayne drops back out of the pack. I think he is good with that time. And now we only got a 6-card pack right here. And oh my goodness, I didn't think they would go faster. See what this pack can maybe do here. They get single file, they might have a shot. And they're not, they're gonna pit, unfortunately. That's gonna do it for that pack. Why don't I say something? This pack looks pretty good though. We got a 7-card pack. And it's gonna be close on who makes it between this pack and this pack. Nothing that has changed yet. Still a 77, 42, 20, 41, and 34. These guys gonna get one more shot at it. See what they can do. This might be the last shot for this pat, the second pat. And they're not gonna do it. None of them jump up there. But these guys just went faster and faster. Especially this lead pat. This front pat, they just kept bringing faster and faster. And all 5 of these guys that are in the top 5, they were in this lead pat. The only one that isn't is the 41, and the 26 of Will Players just went faster. And you have to tail up this pat. He's up to 2nd now, but he was all the way in the top 5, so nothing really changes there. Currently it's 77, 26, 42, 21, 42, 22, and then the 41. And I think that's gonna be the way it stands. So Quentin Moore, who I thought was gonna make it, I don't think he is. And he is not. A crazy
drivers to your cars.
A crazy group number 2, and Memphis Fisher, Will Parrish, Stephen Cologne, Mitchell Collins, and Ryan Dwayne all make it into round 2 of qualifying. Quentin Moore barely misses out, Wyatt Walker misses out, Angel Vale, Josh Williamson, Noah Clifton rounds out the top 10. They all 6th through 10th, they did not make it. Joe Wachowski didn't make it. Fitzwater, Reynolds, Woman, Beal, Drew, Garcia, White, And unfortunately, some of these guys down the bottom, like Garcia, Dwight Watson, Zydell, Crampton, and Gossett, they never really got a great lap in, and they might be starting towards the back in one of the two duels tomorrow night. So, we will be right back here at Daytona. The 10 drives are set, and now it will be 10 drives for 10 minutes here at Daytona, and to find out of who starts on the front row for the Season 4 Daytona 500. Welcome back to Daytona International Speedway for qualifying for the Daytona 500, and it's time for round 2. And we got 10 cars left, and only 2 will start on the front row. Someone will start on pole for the Daytona 500, and someone will start second for the Daytona 500. And we will find out in about 10 minutes time. 10 minutes in this session, and it's going to be interesting if who can get the job done and start on the front row for the Daytona 500 no matter what. Mitchell Collins, he made out of group number 1. Group number 2, he made out of round 1. So did the number 26 for Team Hetfield. And they have to make it into the Daytona 500. But if they start on the front row, they are guaranteed. And there's a couple of cars that are part-time uncharted cars. And if, say, the front row gets locked out by them, then that would be 2 less spots, and we would go from having 4 spots available in the duels tomorrow night to only 2 spots available in the duels, and that could be very interesting to say the least. But Will Parrish and Mitchell Collins are in this one. Ryan Dwyer in the 41 for Stewart Racing is in round 2. Stephen Cohen in the 42 for Page EMS. Both RFK cars, Scompton and Logan Williams, and it looks like they might be wanting to do a RFK strategy going out at the same time. The Money Team, another car that has to race their way into the 500. If they start on front row, they could clinch themselves in. And then Joan Edwards, Spy Motorsports. Then another car that has to make it is the 55 Clark Buzzarino the third. So I think we got 3 part-timers trying to make it into the show based off of qualifying on the front row. But so far, the 43 is fastest. The 26 was fastest. Now it's the 41 of Ryan Dwyer, 43.239. And it's gonna be I'm interesting. Is this a big track? 2.5 miles and only 10 cars. It's gonna be interesting if anyone ends up working together, or if it just stays going one car. Looks like it might just be one car for the most part. 77 might be able to get there to the 22 here. 22 is now the fastest guy in town, and Mitchell Collins with a 42.860. And I think, yeah, the 77 does have the 22 the 77 has the 22 draft, so he's going to be a massive one here, and I think he's going to go to the top easily. He did this in round 1, and he was fastest in Group 2. I think he's easily going to go fastest here. And he will, 42.042 for 043. To the top for Memphis Fisher. That number 77 for Spy Motorsports, they figured out some kind of strategy that works out perfectly, because they did it in round 2 and round 1. Both rounds of qualifying. And they might end up starting 1-2, because no one else is in the pack. No one else is 2-car tailoring at the moment. So it might end up being Mitchell Collins and Memphis Fisher starting on the front row for the Daytona 500. Mitchell Collins did do a 42.374, but he's not really going to be able to get a fast enough time on that number 77 if they stay side by side like this. Collins still ahead of the 77. They're just running different lanes from each other. Interesting. So far it's 77 to 22 to 6, 26, 17, 41, 42, 50, 55, and the 12. In that order. If the 3rd to 10th, it won't really matter. Besides, based off of where you would be in either do 1 or do number 2. Collins might be able to get a 1 here now. Next time by, not this time by, but might be able to do something here for this 77. These guys are catching up with Jordan Edwards though, so he could have something. And maybe the 42. Yeah, literally these two are the only ones in the 2-car tandem. Everyone else is single file. What can Collins do here? This time by, maybe he's gonna... is he close enough to get the draft off of his teammate? Maybe. But I don't know. It's possible that we could see a Penske lockout. And those two did go faster. Now Mr. Collins is fastest here at Daytona with a 41.650. Memphis Fisher is second with 41.812. So those two are now faster. I think some of these guys are starting to go faster now here at Daytona. I thought they were in the draft, but some of them are just going faster as they're winning. And now the real question is, does the 12 has anything for it? Because he's going to be able to get a good lap this time by, not next time by, but this time by, not last time by. Last time by was kind of a wash. I mean, he's up to third, 42.107, but this lap is really what Jordan Edwards is wanting to maybe be on the front row with his teammate. 77 official did pass the 22, but now look at that Team Penske strategy. I think Team Penske really wants a lockout on the front row for the Daytona 500. And what's gonna be interesting this time by, it will be exactly that, a 40.083, I cannot speak. 40.836 for Jordan Edwards, and then a 41.037 for Mitchell Collins. Blistering pace, and now these guys are catching up with Stephen Colon in the 42. And because of this, the chances of Penske getting a lockout just goes even lower. Because these guys are going to go faster each car they add to his pack. See, this time by, none of them went faster besides the 42. I'm very scared for the 42 because now he's on the tail end of this now 4-car pack. And this pack, the more cars it gets, the more energy it's gonna get, and the more faster all 4 of these drivers will get. And everyone just ditched the rookie Jordan Ellis out of the way, so he's not gonna go faster. Plus, he doesn't really need to at the moment. Memphis Fisher was able to go faster this lap. And he was a 40.798 Spire Motorsports to the top of the board. The 12 of Jordan Edwards is in second now. Stephen Colon is in third. And now Mitchell Collins is in fourth. The longer he's leading this path, the less chance that he has of being on the front row. They are going to catch up with the money team though, here, possibly. It's gonna be one of these four starting on the pole for the Daytona 500 from either Cologne, Collins, Edwards, or Fisher. See, this time by they didn't really gain anything. None of them gained time. And I think they might get some extra time here. And they will. Anyone else in the group? No, it's just these guys. These four now, 5 cars. Collins might be able to get a good lap on here off the draft of the 50 though. So this might actually help Collins' case. See what is Collins' lap gonna be this time by? Oh, not much faster. Still fourth. It's still the 77 of Memphis, Fisher, and the 12 of Jordan Edwards. Might get one more chance at it this time by. And now this 5 car Pat. Watch this 50 car come on 18 to steal it late and get like one true good lap in with this Pat. That would be hilarious. Here we go to the line. Last time, can they get there in time? Barely they will. And that's gonna do it. And it will be Memphis Fisher on the pole for the Daytona 500. BB Ruiz probably was on a flyer, but because time expired right when they crossed the line, they couldn't really get a good enough time in time. Or like the lap couldn't really cycle in, unfortunately. So that's the tough way for BB Ruiz, whatever. That's gonna be Spy Motorsports and Memphis Fisher. First time ever on the channel, and he gets the pole. And Jordan Edwards, he was part of the Big Stable Invitational last year that is no longer available. But he is on the pole. He's on the front row, and it is a all-rookie front row for the Daytona 500. Fisher and Edwards. Spy Motorsports